what an intro. Okay, we are now back. Ain't that right? Yes, now we're back. Ain't that right, Rudy? Prende el micrófono.
It's on.
Oh, it's on. All right.
No más.
There you go. There you go. You know, I had to rush to go get my hat. I forgot my hat, man.
It's a nice hat.
Oh, thank you. ¿Te la vendo?
No me queda.
Unos 20 bolas de volá. Vámonos. Que se haga el transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Chrispity Chris. I have a new not a new co-host. It's just a co-host for today, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
His name is Rudy Carr. Un aplauso para Rudy Carr. Que se oiga.
Ay, tenemos audio. Gracias.
Tenemos audience ahora. Tenemos in-house audience. Wow.
Ahorita les decimos quién son.
Pagaron 20 bolas por la entrada. ¿Cómo es, Rudy?
Está bien.
Para que se moche con un Waterbury ya después, ¿no?
Number one with cheese all the way.
No, me estás caído. Nomás un number one.
Es que acabamos de comer chino.
Pues, I can't believe just a number one. I mean, a guy of your stature, you know, ooh, you look like a number two kind of guy.
All right,
double
number
meat,
two.
double cheese, double bacon.
In a Diet Coke.
Con chingo de onions.
Oh,
Ay, no más.
poquito.
Let me see. Can you guys hear me out there? We are trying a new board out today. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get something to say? You guys can hear me? Can you guys hear me? Rudy, can you hear me? Rudy. I keep calling him Rudy today. I don't know why.
It's a small resemblance. Poquito.
Right? I guess. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
I think I'm at... let's see. Saludos para la Terry de Hannah Duarte. All right. All the way from San Angelo. Para Ricky La Rosa. ¿Cómo estás, mi brother? Saludos de Kingsville. Bueno, más.
Kingsville.
Para Kingsville. Yes. I messed some up here. Sorry, I'm having to go this way because I'm having to try out this board. I forgot my other board at home. So
it's working good.
It's working all right. You guys can hear me, right? All right, they gave me a thumbs up. All right, thank you. Let me see. Al Gloria Romero, saludos para ella. Oh, todo suato. I have my phone right here where I can look at the comments right in real time. Saludos para mi buen amigo Mr. Felix Aleman, who is watching. And Joey Martinez. Joey, you know what? I was telling Rudy today the story about Lalo Mora when we went to Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Oye, no.
¿Te acuerdas, Joey? El vato le decía...
Se dejaron
caer la pinche greña. Y no, hombre. You know what? I wish Joey would call in and tell us a story. That would be kind of funny, right?
It's a funny story. I already heard it.
It is a funny story. Fabian Villagomez, saludos all the way from Beeville, Texas. Seguro que sí. This is the Chrispity Chris Show. My co-host for today is Mr. Rudy Carr. Now, Carr, that's an unusual last name.
I'm my dad's white, my mom's Mexicana.
Your dad's white?
Yeah. White Anglo-Saxon. He's a WASP. White
he's
Anglo-Saxon Protestant male, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a WASP.
But muchos dicen, hombre, ese es cuando estaban back in the day at the radio station, they used to say, hombre, eres Carranco, eres Carranza. No, Carr, that's my last name. C-A-R-R. Half Irish, half pepper belly.
Half Irish, half pepper belly. Hoy nomás. Boys, has anybody ever made fun of your last name or kind of like wondered, hey, why is your last name Carr?
All the time.
All the Carr.
Yeah. The only thing I got from my dad is the size.
The size.
Mamá está chaparrita y papá was about 6'5". I'm a little bit under that.
As you can tell by the size of this gentleman, look at me in the screen. Mira nomás.
No quepes.
Como me dijo un camarada, eres un animal de uña, camarada. You're an animal of the claw.
La de claw.
Of the claw. Rawr. Right?
La de Van Eric Claw, ¿te acuerdas? Los Van Erics.
He said, Joey, with the bajo hanging out of the van.
Oh, el del Gramo Mora. Digo, sí, Lalo Mora.
Sí, el Gramo Mora. Digo, Lalo Mora, ya. Saludos para él. Wow, that was a funny story. Saludos para mi buen amigo, Mr. Manuel Alvarado. Saludos para él. Awesome drummer. You know Manny, right? Manuel?
Yes.
He used to drum for los chamacos back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. ¿Cómo se llama el guapango que traían en el third album?
Está pesado.
Remember that guapango?
I don't know how he did it, pero andaba doubling con la... ¿Quién sabe qué? Oh, my God.
Tripling, doubling.
That is gracious, el vato.
Un saludo para Manny.
Seguro que sí. So we're doing the show a little bit early today because, you know, as you all know, I'm in my studio right now. We're at the Hano Powerhouse Studios aquí in the Rio Grande Valley. You know, I actually got some camaradas that are in the house today.
Yeah.
I'm going to be recording them here in a bit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do the show a little bit early so that we can go and record my camaradas here. But luckily, I called my good friend, Mr. Rudy Carr, he's a mixed breed. Yeah, see, I got to message you, Rudy, today because, you know, every co-host that I have here with me, I'm gonna have to mess with them. So
that's okay.
He's a good sport, right?
Yeah, I can take it.
Dice Joey, when I see Rudy, all I know how to say, I only came for tacos and some antibiotics.
cuando va para PGR, para Progreso.
Ándale.
Oye, pero trae 2 docenas de tacos.
Sí.
Los lunches, the famous lunches de Progreso, México.
Nomás con que se moche el camarada, ¿verdad?
Yeah,
es todo. Bueno, un saludo para toda la gente que los acompaña hoy en este día. Oh my goodness graciousness! I had an awesome time last week. I had my very good friend, Mr. Rick Garcia. He used to be the vice president for Hacienda Records back in the day.
Yeah.
Now he has CHR Records. I want to thank him for being here. Saludos para Rick Garcia.
Hacienda Records is an institution in Tejano music.
Absolutely.
How many bands recorded there?
So many bands came through there. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a really good time talking to him because, I mean, last week's show was very informative. You know, a lot of people were texting me, telling me, wow, that was a badass show you had today. You know, they learned a lot, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And today we're going to do the same, folks. I got Mr. Rudy Carr here, who was once a DJ for a very popular radio station here in the Valley, KIWW, La Caliente 96, right?
As a matter of fact, that was my second station. I was telling you about KITM, Superstar 105.
That's right.
That started there in 1989. And then I went to KIWW, then went to Que Pasa in the later years in the middle of the 90s. And then I got a real job after that. And then you and I worked at the same radio station back in the late 90s, remember?
Yeah, we sure did. We worked at an AM station. It was called La Tejana 840.
840 AM.
That's right. So for you folks out there that don't know, yes, I was a radio DJ at one time.
Was.
And, all these years I've been doing radio voiceovers. I'm a voiceover actor. And yes, I have worked for a radio station, actually a couple of radio stations. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that about me.
Well, you're a multi-talented guy, bro.
Yeah, they just know me as a musician, but I've been doing radio for many years.
Yeah.
I know, and I love it. I always said, what, if it doesn't work out for me in the music business, I'm going to go back to being an on-air personality.
Well, nunca sabes. We never know, because you might, be on the air again. You're on the air right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Nada más que alguien tiene la bocina media fuerte ya, and it's causing a little bit of interference over here. I'm kidding. I wanted to see what they'd say. And I wanted to see him make a face like, and it worked. Yeah, that's right. Saludos aquí para Mercy Pérez, who's watching. Saludos para ella. Para mi amigo Jimmy Alanis, primo hermano de Mark Alanis, de puro Sinton aquí.
Oh, Sinton.
El Joey con la smiley face.
Yeah.
Saludos para Beatriz Serrata. Oh, how are you doing, man? La esposa from the late Jesse Serrata, who I had the honor of playing with many years ago. Wow. Man, those were some awesome times, man.
Talking about that, on drums, estamos hablando de Mr. Pete Garza.
Uh-huh.
Oh, La Negra. One of the solistas, remember, on the guitar. I was thinking of his name, I couldn't remember. He was a great guitar player de los hermanos Solices. All of them were great talented guys from there. But Pete, a great drummer, one of my all-time heroes on drums.
Yeah, he is. He actually he taught me how to do triplets.
Well, you're going to teach me that because I told you that I could never do a triplet.
Yeah, I will teach you how to do triplets.
¿Será que tengo una 13 y no, el pedal está muy chiquito o algo?
Hey, pero ¿sabes qué, camarada? Te va a costar otro Whataburger.
Bueno.
Me andan gruñendo las tripas otra vez.
After the show, then we'll talk about it.
You know what? After the show, it's pretty cool because all the guys that are here today with me, here in the audience, we always go to Taco Palenque.
Wow.
Lo echamos unos tacos allá.
¿Quién paga? ¿Quién paga?
Pues el Marky. El Marky dice, bueno, porque él es el jefe.
Dale. Está bueno, ya dijo.
Ya dijo, ¿verdad? David Valadez, saludos all the way from Port Lavaca, Texas. You are talented. Thanks for the Guerra Musical intro, Chris. House that Chris made us. Yes, absolutely. I do make intros too, so if anybody's interested in an intro for a band, hit me up.
Bro, ¿qué no haces, camarada? Pues toca todos los instruments, ha sido radio announcer, voiceovers, podcast. Oye, hombre,
I know, right?
No, gracias a Dios, ¿verdad?
Yes, I thank God every single day for my talents.
Awesome.
I'm very blessed.
Ese es David Valadez de la Guerra.
De la Guerra Musical, seguro
I remember them, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we used to play them a lot back in the day. De la Guerra Musical.
La Guerra Musical, that's David Valadez right there.
Un saludo para él.
Seguro que sí. Saludos para David, también para Erica García. Erica, how are you doing? La esposa de Ray García, all the way in San Antonio, Texas.
All right.
Aquí lo podemos pasar toda la noche mandando saludos y todo, pero we need to get to some topics in hand. So like I was saying earlier, folks, this gentleman right here next to me, Mr. Carr, C-A-R-R, was an on-air personality. So, we want to talk, we want to delve into kind of like how it works, how the radio industry works. And, you worked at a couple of radio stations, one being one of the most famous stations in the Valley back in the day, KIWW, La Caliente 96. Tell us about how your experience there, how was it, man, first of all?
It was awesome. One, because I love Tejano. That's, I love all kinds of music, but I really love Tejano. And, I knew the history because we were talking about it in a little while that I used to read the information on the back of the credits of the albums. Useless information. I should have read my history books instead, but that was what I loved. I loved everything to do with music. Oh, mira que el engineer que the recording studio, they use this. I mean, who cares? It was only in my mind that I cared. And I knew the history of the bands. Cuando hablabas de, cuando Grupo Mayo empezó, de Chato Chavarría, que who was their guitar player, pues era Mr. Ricky Smith de La Movida.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. el de los keyboards.
Joe Reveles.
Joe Reveles, A lot of people don't know that, and I used to love all that info, and then when I used to see him live, I used to ask him, hey, what happened to this guy? And I just love the music. And back in the day, most of us kids in the 80s, believe it or not, besides listening to metal, we used to listen a lot to Tejano. And I wish and I hope that a lot of kids nowadays will start, seeing their culture and listening to our music, because poco a poquito, we listen to other stuff. Nothing wrong with listening to it, but also don't forget about your roots. And that was the things that I always liked about radio, that it get me connected to my, my Tejano experience. And like I said, I love Tejano. I started off in Tejano radio, and I ended up at Tejano radio, and I wish that Tejano will, it's still going, but we need to push a little bit further more. And I think with the bands that are coming up, and we got one tonight that we're going to introduce to you all, that La Onda Siga y de acordeón, conjunto, Tejano, doesn't matter, it's just keep on going. But I love my experience in radio, siempre me gustó, and ojalá que mucha gente siga escuchando La Onda Tejana, and that's what we're here for, so we can keep going with el conjunto and with la música tejana.
All right, absolutely, man. Really quick, saludos para Fabian Villagómez all the way in Beeville, Texas. También para el buen amigo Santiago Oseguera all the way in California. Seguro que sí. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. You know what? I feel kind of funny way down here. The good thing is that with these chairs right here, these badass, awesome chairs.
¿Estás bien? Ándale.
Ahora sí. Now I feel a little bit better.
There you go.
Pero así me pueden ver la panza. La panza de músico, como dice mi vieja.
La Ramón Santillán. El bastardo. Saludo para el bastardo.
Ándale. And we don't mean that in a bad way. There's actually a musician by the name of El Bastardo.
Yeah.
We're not making it up. That's really his name. He actually changed it. And he no longer goes by his original birth-given name. He now goes by
El Bastardo.
El Bastardo.
And he's a great drummer. He started off, we were talking about it also. He started off playing grupero, tropical. Y después fue con Roberto Pulido. Then he went with, he played with a bunch of other Tejano bands playing percussions and drums.
Yeah, he's an awesome drummer. Oye, de repente lo viene a Pulga, el camarada anda tocando está tocando el bajo sexto y que le manda una nota y dice, oye, no es Tololoche, güey. La tenía acá arriba el vato y le dije, pues compadre, no es el Tololoche, güey.
Es que su estado físico no lo permite bajarle más al Tololoche.
Ok, es su estado físico, ¿verdad? Ok. Ay, perdóname, mi bastardito, por favor.
No, es buena banda. Un saludo a Ramón.
But I mean, we are serious though when we say that really is his name now.
Yeah, we're not,
No joke.
No, and he even tells you, hey, dime bastardo. So, con todo gusto, bastardos.
Yeah.
Le recalcas,
Sí.
bastardo.
Así como. Folks, that's when you really have to roll your R's.
De esos son los amigos cuando te dicen.
Ándale.
Porque hay muchos que dicen, o no, por usan la doble R. And we're talking about that also, right? Que casi muchos DJs ahora en día.
Marcos Orozco.
Marcos Orozco, a la máquina. Orozco. Oye, pues. And we're talking about que no quieren hablar español tampoco. O no saben hablar español.
Exactly.
So, si eres bilingüe, úsalo. I mean, why not? Thank God that we're blessed that we can, go back and forth and we can do it correctly.
Sí.
Siempre les decía yo cuando estaba en la radio, hablo español, inglés y hablo barrio talk también.
Ándale.
Chicano time. So I can go, three ways. Si alguien me habla del barrio del West Side o se me habla de la South Most de Brownsville, pues, me dejo caer con ellos. Así como si me habla alguien de Monterrey, pues, me hago al estilo Monterrey.
A huevo.
A huevo.
Lo bueno es que los podemos comunicar en cualquier idioma, ¿verdad?
Así es. También, we can have a little bit of English.
Un poquito de Chinese y de todo.
Mandarin.
Oh, yes.
Cálmate, Fiero.
Ey, ¿sabes? Ve, plátame un árbol de atrás, por favor, si eres tan amable. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chrispity Chris Show. I'm your host, Chrispity Chris. Today I have an in-house guest, Mr. Rudy Carr. All the way from, originally, where are you from?
Browntown, Brownsville,
Oh,
Texas.
you're from Brownsville originally.
Browntown, bro.
Don't tell me
Ahí
you-
del west side de la Levy Street.
¿A poco you graduated from Hannah?
Yes, 1984, I'm going to say. 1984 from Hannah High School.
Ah, la alba.
Yeah, played a little football. Believe it or not, I played football.
Really?
With this size?
No.
Yeah, pa la línea, cabrón.
I would have never guessed that you played football.
Yeah, believe it or not. You thought I was, what, a volleyball player?
Oh, yeah. I thought you played I thought you were like a cheerleader or something.
No,
I don't know.
We had a bigger guy in high school. He was like 6'6" and about 350 at that time. Pero pues tocaba la tuba en la banda.
No.
Se debería tocar con la banda de limón, yo creo.
Avísame que necesitaban un bodyguard los cabrones.
But no, from Brownsville, Texas. Un saludo para toda la palomilla de Browntown y todos los del Bayuco, desde Roma hasta Brownsville, saludándolos donde quiera que nos escuchen ahorita. Gracias a todos los de Califas, están reportándose también.
Ah, huevo, todos están reportando. Saludos para Mr. Cumbia Jams, all the way in the house. Cumbia, sorry I missed your call earlier today. I was in a studio session, but I will call you after the show. Saludos para Luis Martínez, dice, hello from Kansas City, es todo.
Alas.
También para mi buena amiga, Miss Aisha Aparicio. Wow.
Aisha.
Now she can sing.
¿Sí?
Oh, she's just gracious.
Aguas.
No quiero hit que está graciada, so I say in a polite way,
Sí,
that is gracious.
Yeah.
Y también para Dennis Montana, who's watching esto. Cada vez que voy a Home Depot, viene el camarada Dennis y me ayuda with whatever I need.
Pero ahorita los precios de la madera. cabrón.
Y no me... Oye, es un pedazo de plywood, $79, cállate.
No, pero dijo Biden que todo está bien.
No, ese vato está falso. Yes, you heard it here on my show, on the Chrispity Chris Show. Ese vato está falso.
Times 100.
Times 1,000.
A la madre.
Hey.
Yeah.
Saludos para Norma Salazar, all the way from Holland, Michigan, who's watching.
Órale, saludos.
Thank you so much. También para Ernie Sauceda, all the way from Wisconsin. Oh, dice Aisha. Oh, LOL, thank you. Aisha, I want to have you on my show one of these days. I wish you can come to my show.
¿Dónde vive Isha?
Aisha vive en San Antonio.
Ah, está cerquita.
Está cerquita. It's only 4 hours away.
Yeah.
No, not even. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, te vienes al 75 miles an hour, ¿no?
No, if you come maybe like 95 miles per hour, llegas como en 2 horas. No hay pedo.
Yeah.
Si te paran como quiera ir, aquí tenemos un... Where do you work now?
Okay, I work at Customs and Border Protection,
Okay.
which is OFO, Office of Field Operations, aquí en el Valle.
Okay.
I got a real job. Por eso. Yeah.
Okay, gee, thanks.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
what are you trying to say, Rudy Carr?
No. But see, you're a musician too, and you do all this. But back then, I was only doing DJing. Y pues no había tanta. Y I had to do a lot of other extra stuff to make ends meet. Pero dijo, me dice mi esposa, o agarras trabajo, yo le chispo.
O le pones camarada.
So anyway, but yeah, before that, I went to prison.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a guard there?
Yeah, I was a guard.
Ándale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Estaba en el tabique con todos los mundados ahí, dándoles guariche en la mañana y el platón. Y
Hey,
ya sabes.
gusto.
So I was a TDC for a little while also.
So now you're a customs border agent, right?
Yeah, I'm a K-9 officer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've actually, this guy right here, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't know, there's a show on A&E, right? It's called Border Wars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Border Wars.
I forgot about
This
that.
guy has come out on Border Wars, I don't know how many times with his dog.
There were reruns, but yeah, I believe it or not, I don't know if you know this one, but I also came out in Oprah.
Really?
Yeah, because at that time I had a pit bull, and it was a long story. You can Google it or whatever you want, but it was a pit bull they found in a refrigerator, and they named him Popsicle. Nobody wanted him because of the connotations of a pit bull, so they gave him a test for customs. He passed, and I ended up with him.
Oh,
And
wow.
Got some great enforcement actions with that little dog.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So how long have you been in that field of work?
24 years.
24 years now. Wow.
Yeah, I've always been working with the dog in the Army also, so I was an MP. So
Wow, that is so cool.
yeah, it is. Working with the dog is awesome. I mean, te cansas es porque es el solazo, pero it's worth it once,
Yeah, matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, when we had lunch today earlier, ¿verdad? And when he picked me up, ¿con qué salí?
Con la Lulu.
Sí, salí con mi Lulu. I have a little pug. And, I love her to death. And, I had to take her out because somebody had to go to Houston. I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
But somebody went to Houston, right? So, I mean, I have to take care of my dog. So, I love my little doggy. And no me salí con el perrito and Rudy was like, oh, wow, órale. So, when he picked me up, I had to come over here.
Lulu otra vez.
Otra vez con Lulu. I had to take her out. I had to, she has to poop.
Just take a break.
Yeah, she has to poop. She has to pee and stuff like that. But I love my little dog.
Good. It's a good
La perrita. She's real funny.
Un saludo a Lulu si nos está viendo.
Oh, yeah. She's like, okay, Reggie. Yeah, he said, Aisha, sure, I would love to. Awesome. It would be so awesome to have you down here and co-host with me. And maybe do a couple of tunes together. Saco el piano de volá y vámonos.
Oh, yeah, a cappella.
A capela de volá y lo vamos en tour. Lo vamos en todos los boats. Lo vamos en tour.
We start off at the island aquí en la isla.
Sí, empezamos aquí en la Isla del Padre y luego vamos para Progreso y luego Cancún y luego
Roma.
ándale. Y lo vamos.
A Zapata, al Falcon Dam.
Sí, vamos como Peaches and Herb.
You reunited.
And it feels so good. Yeah.
That song.
Es todo. Dice, what's up? Trucking all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Juan Cole, ¿cómo estás, mi brother? Saludos para él.
Soy troquero y me gusta.
Es ser borracho.
Bueno,
Pero Juan Cole ya no es borracho.
no,
No.
reformado. Ya.
Está reformado el vato. Fue a la universidad.
Ay, pues.
Ándale. Saludos para Terry Tejana Duarte. She puso un perrito. A huevo. A huevo, ya sabes.
Yes, sir.
A huevo. So, Rudy, going back to your days on radio, man, who do you remember most who did you like working with the most there?
The most, well, all the guys were great, but I don't know if you remember el chaparrito JJ Moreno.
Oh, yeah, I sure do, man.
JJ was such a character. He was one of the most funniest guys to work with because salía con unas ondas and he was a really good guy and I still keep in touch with him, believe it or not. There's a few guys still in the radio that I keep in touch with. Well, of course, everybody knows Mando. And bueno, un momentito, por favor. Estamos ocupados.
I'm going to have to take this call. Rudy,
No, yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Talk to whoever you want to talk to.
Anyway, yeah, it was back in the day when we started, it was Mando, and then I don't know if you guys remember Mike Infante, también estaba ahí, Mike Villarreal, Mr. Ben Valdez, he was also with us back in the day. So we had a bunch of, back in the day, that radio station really was cool because we used to play a lot of conjunto en tejano, and we used to spike it up sometimes with a bit of grupero, which was, at that time, it was also coming up a lot, como Liberación, and we also put some mariachi. But it was a great atmosphere to work with and learned a lot from those guys. And especially one of my heroes was always been Mando San Roman. Iban a decir, ponle casa, pero that's one of the reasons that I wanted to start in radio because I used to listen to him a lot when I was a kid in high school. It was Mando. And,
well, that's not what you told me a while ago about Mando.
Well,
you're instigating something. No, he's an awesome guy.
He is. And he's one of the ones that I looked up to when I was a kid. It was, listening to Mando when I was a freshman in high school. He was barely starting, and I remember listening to him a lot. This was my inspiration. I think I can do that. And when I started off, I saw Mr. Raúl Hernández, que en paz descanse, le decíamos el búfalo de cariño. Y le dice, oye, don Raúl, pues, ¿qué se necesita para ser locutor? Porque, pues, a mí se me hace que yo sí la hago. Dijo, a ver, mira, cuñado. Decía, mira, cuñado, ven para acá el lunes y te hago una pruebita a ver si la haces. And I went from Brownsville to Mission at the station. He gave me a sheet of paper. He said, okay, léemela en español. Okay, tradúcemela. La traducí en inglés. Oye, sí, estás bien. Y por supuesto, the youngest guy in the radio station is going to go graveyard. So, vas derecho para graveyard. I did like 6 months of graveyard. And then you slowly start getting your better hours. And ended up at 7 to 12, the night drive, and then the 3 to 7. So, poco a poquito, you start developing a lot of stuff, learning a lot of stuff from different people.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Earlier today we were talking about all the jocks here in the Valley because we're from the Valley. This is a Valley-based show.
Puro Bayuco.
Puro Bayuco. Somos el Valle del 956 K. Puro K.
Oh, sí.
¿Verdad? So, we were reminiscing. We were talking about all the awesome DJs, all the jocks from back in the day. And, I was trying to remember this one gentleman that used to work at Tejano 106.3 here in the Valley. And, we had a hard time remembering his name. And how could we ever forget that guy, man? He is, he's one of those that, we talk about people in radio, and there's a bunch of honor personalities que, les falta poquito de
que estamos fluid.
Sí, les falta aceite. And and this guy had a natural DJ voice. And we're talking about Mr. Mike Cantu. You remember Mike Cantu, right?
Mike Cantu, who he used to also DJ at DJs in Edinburgh. I don't know if some of you maybe too young here in the audience, pero DJs of Edinburgh was the club to go back in the day in the 80s. Everybody played there. There's the Magic, La Movida, Mas, everybody who was somebody was a DJs he had to make there. Y él le puso Darling City, USA.
Eso.
Mr. Mike Cantu. Mike Canitas, Mike Canitas Cantu.
Mike Canitas. Yeah. Is he still around?
I guess he's now a pastor along with his wife in some church along 281. Acá por Álamo, south of Álamo. I think that's the last I heard because Desi, el hijo de ellos, un saludo también para Mr. Desi.
Seguro que sí.
Was the one who told me that now they have a church and they're pastors.
Oh, wow.
in the church. But yeah, well, great voice and
Great voice.
and also knowledgeable of bands like desde Roy Montelongo, El Indio Isidro Lopez. He knew a bunch of music, and had to learn a lot from him also.
Yeah, I do apologize, folks. That was my father. I left him home alone, so he did call, and he was telling me, you know what, don't worry about bringing me food, My sobrino, is
right.
es todo, Jeremy.
El nieto.
Mi sobrino se sacó he's taking my dad some food, so, I did have to answer the phone, so I do apologize, folks. He is my daddy. I love him, and...
Saludos.
Saludos para él, ¿verdad? Who's watching.
Saludos. Mejor.
Es lo mejor. También saludos para Ronald J. Ruiz, who's watching. Saludos para él. Ronald, repórtate, por favor, Ronald. That's right. So, we have an audience today, right?
Yeah.
I know what, and we want to bring them on why don't we bring them on the air with us, man?
Why not?
Why not? Ojalá no se agüiten porque I'm going to just, folks, right here we have, should I say the name of the band or...
Fíjate que eso ayudaría un poquito.
You think so?
Sí, yo creo que sí.
Okay, so they're a band that, they're starting to record. You guys haven't, you know what, let me bring them on. I want to introduce, folks, ladies and gentlemen, to you, Mr. Mark Alanis y Texas Pachanga in the house. Say hello to them.
Hey, folks, how's it going?
All right.
Saludos.
Yes, thank you.
So what's up, Marky? No te agüites.
Not much, brother. Just
There you go.
trying to get things done here at the Tejano Powerhouse. We're working on our freshman album here, and it's been a lot of work. It's been a long time coming, but at the end of the day, a lot of hard work, and we're truly blessed to one, be able to record here, to get our music out there, and then two, of course, Chris, we want to thank you a lot because you've been helping us a lot, not just on the engineering side, but also on the producing side. Because it's really hard when you have your music going out there, and for someone to actually see what your vision is, and but then again, truth be told, a lot of people don't know, but obviously Chris and I go back over 20 years.
Oh yeah.
We played together in many bands back in the day, and it's one of the few people who I would honestly trust or entrust with our music.
23 years ago.
23 years ago, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like I said, we're truly blessed that, you've seen our vision, that the path that we're trying to take, man. And we're truly blessed. We're absolutely happy, and we can't wait to get out there and start sharing our music with the world.
Awesome, man. So, introduce the guys in the band for me, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll be here all the way to the far right. I've got Paul Polo Lopez. He is the Bajo Quinto
All right.
extraordinaire. Polo here is he's out of FAR. Just a phenomenal Bajo player. And then, of course, right next to me, got my best bud here. Got Chuy Alvarez here out of FAR.
Chuy.
My bass player. And, of course, second voice here. And Chuy and I go back long time, bro. Ever since high school, we've been playing together in several bands, everything, rock, country, and obviously Tejano, man. But we decided to get our project back together, get the band back together. Maybe about a year and a half ago, we sat down and pulled out a lot of our old songs, our originals, worked on them, kind of tried to bring them up to, I guess, what's out there today, because obviously the music has evolved so much from, the heyday, which was I feel the heyday was the 90s. That's when Tejano was extremely strong, and so we really wanted to get a feel of the Tejano conjunto norteño, bring it all together, kind of mix it all together, which in my opinion is truly what Tejano is.
Right.
And we put our feel on it, we put our style on it, our originals, we put them out there, and like I said, God willing, really soon we'll be releasing our freshman CD, and hopefully people will get a chance to hear it, and hopefully they'll enjoy it. God willing.
I must say, folks, this guy, I bragged about you a couple of, I think it was last week, man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I said one of my clients here at the studio, which is also a friend, bought me a Valley lemon tree. And you know what? I want to thank you now that you're here in person. Thank you for, I love Valley lemons, man. And this guy came through, got me a Valley lemon tree. It was so freaking awesome. I water that damn thing every day.
You're gonna drown it.
Yeah, no drown it.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, for real? I'm like, that's the last thing I want to do is I want to drown my poor little tree.
Oye, pero con esta agua que está cayendo en el valle,
no
no
le va a caer
necesitas
bruto, cállate.
y los zancos se lo van a llevar al árbol.
Hijo de su.
No, a little side note. I grew up, where I grew up in San Juan, my parents had 54 citrus trees. So and we have a little over an acre there in San Juan, in the middle of town. It's kind of odd, but that was my dad. May he rest in peace. That was his love, was his citrus trees. So we were I think it was our second or third session here, and Chris mentioned to me that he loved Valley lemons. And I'm like, well, you have to know where to get them. You have to know how to graft them, et cetera, et cetera. So, I pulled some strings, and I got one together for him. And it's I guarantee you that one is going to be phenomenal. I guarantee you.
No, well, thank you so much.
Absolutely, bro.
I mean, who does that for somebody, man? A round of applause for my friend Marky right there.
Esos son camaradas, bro.
Ese es camarada right there.
Awesome.
That's a friend right there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so jealous of my neighbor, man, because that guy I was stealing peaches from him, man. And his peaches, I mean, they were big, man, and juicy, and oh my God, I would go over there and steal them like every day. And then, he sold me insurance, right, for my business here. And when I told him, I want some, some peaches, he's like, no, cuando quieras, cuando gustes, no pasa a la casa y agarra, ¿me entiendes? I went the following day, they were all gone.
Pues chihuahua.
I was like, okay.
Se acabaron.
I know, man. I was eating them every day, man. I would get like 4 or 5 of them like every day. They were huge, man, and super sweet, man. So I told my connect right here, I'd go, Marky, you have to get me a peach tree.
And I ordered it. It will be here Saturday.
All right.
See, I'm going to own some real estate here at the Tejano Firehouse Records. I'm telling you.
Ya dijiste, brother. Ya tienes stock aquí el camarada.
Yeah. Valley Lemons.
Puro Valley Lemon. That's right. Saludos aquí, dice, para Cristina Clemente. Great music. Dice, thank you so much. Para Luis Pérez Escobar Jr., we love you. Mark Alanis. Wow, ya tienes fans, ¿no?
Es todo, Mark.
Sing my baby. Dice, sing my baby.
Chuito.
Oye, puro hardcore fan tuyo. We love you, Mark Alanis. Oye, I've heard, I would want somebody to call me and say, or at least tell me, I love you, Chris. I love you, Chrispity.
¿Te habló Beto? Eso no cuenta.
Aquí dice, saludos para Rudy Carr de parte de la señora Mando.
¿Señora qué?
La señora Mando.
Ah, really?
Do you know her?
Pues saludos para ella.
Her name is Irma.
¿Irmando?
Her last name is Mando, her first name is Irma.
Ah, ok. No, pues un saludo.
Do you know her?
No.
Okay.
Pero pues yo la conocí aquí en el podcast.
Ah, pues mándale un saludo.
Un saludo, señora Irma Mando.
Ok.
Irma Mando. No la pescó nadie. Nomás 1, 2.
Yeah. Marky got it, right?
Come on now. From San Juan, of course I got it, bro.
Hey, come on. Let's keep it PG, folks. This is a PG show here.
El FCC no tiene nada que ver aquí.
No tiene ningún pinche negocio andar aquí.
Nada.
Ningún negocio.
Nada.
No business whatsoever. So, Rudy and I were talking earlier about the radio industry, right? And, I told him, what, if it doesn't work out with music, I'm definitely going to go back to radio. It's one of the things that I love. I've always loved doing radio. I do voiceovers. I do a bunch of liners, sweepers, commercials. So I said, you know what? Just in case if it didn't work out.
Yeah, I remember doing some of that in Telemundo en Univision, the voiceovers, like the commercials, que salían en inglés y después los cambiaban al español.
Right.
I used to do this. It was a lot of fun.
Well, if memory serves, Chris, you also did a TV show for a while.
Oh yeah,
you did Puro Tejano, didn't you?
Yeah, I was at Puro Tejano for a while, and before that, I had another TV show called Tejano Jam, which aired on Televisa every Sunday night.
Right.
Or Sunday morning, rather. Sunday morning, yeah. We had a TV show called Tejano Jam, and then a couple of years back, I was actually working with Mando San Roman at Puro Tejano. Puro Tejano TV.
Ahí estaba también la Iris, the Virus.
No, she wasn't there.
¿Después?
No, not at all. Not when I was there.
No.
Uh-uh.
Oh, qué bueno.
But it was pretty cool. It was awesome. Estaba la Margarita. Margarita was there. Mando San Roman was there. My good friend Eli Gonzalez was there. He was the producer. And I had a ball, man. I had a blast working on Puro Tejano.
¿Qué le pasó a Margarita?
I have no idea. And I think she's in Westlaco. I think she sells real estate now. But
really?
She is one fantastic and awesome singer, man.
Yeah. Anduvo un tiempo también ayudándole a Jimmy.
I think, that's right. She sure was.
Yeah, I think so.
But
she's a Margarita.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. She's one of the best female vocalists out there, man. Saludos para ella. Yeah, so, folks, this is pretty awesome because in-house, we have Mr. Rudy Carr, who once worked in radio. We also worked together as we were both DJs at one radio station, La Tejana. 840.
AM.
La Tejana, 840. We were both DJs there. Yes, I was a DJ. Once upon a time.
Yeah. Y estamos hablando que la diferencia como el radio ha evolucionado, para bien o para mal, pero ha cambiado un poquito, ¿verdad?
Yeah, it sure changed a lot. Matter of fact, this is for all you that want to fact check this. I monitor a lot of radio, and back in the day, it was very bilingual,
Yes.
if you will. Radio back in the day was very, you had to learn you had to speak Spanish,
Right.
and then of course came in the Tex-Mex stuff like that. But I think a lot of the problems with Tejano radio back now is that it's all Americanized.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that? As a former honored personality, what are your thoughts on that?
The way I am, for me, Spanish is my first language. I grew up with Spanish since I was a little kid. My dad spoke to me in English, but Spanish was the predominant language. Así que no se me dificultaba nada el español, hablar español, inglés, o come back and forth. Y el estilo, Chicano time también, if you want to. But nowadays, like the ones, the radio announcers that I've heard outside of the Valley, totalmente pierden ya el ser bilingüe porque no saben hablar, no saben pronunciar bien, el español. Los artistas que salen, como estamos ahorita diciendo, no lo pueden decir Marcos Orozco, tiene que ser Marcos Orozco. Y pues por favor, there's no double R, no hay doble R, no pueden, o sometimes they do the double R when it's not supposed to be there and stuff.
Right.
Y por qué no, si somos, if we come and our heritage is talking Spanish, pues hay que usarla. Y en ese entonces, no sé si te acuerdas, he was talking about the golden age of Tejano, which was the 90s, and it was because of all the big major companies that were there, EMI Capital, RCA,
Sony,
Sony, BMG,
Yep.
all these people, had an artist. Y mucha de esa música, cuando estábamos en KIWW, en la estación ciudad hasta Monterrey. Entonces nos hablaba mucha gente de Monterrey, y no por ser de México no les gusta la música tejana. Creo que les gusta mucho la música, pero cuando llega el locutor dicen, pues nomás habla puro inglés y no le entendemos.
No entienden.
Ahora la mayoría de la gente que tenemos aquí en el Valle son bilingües, y hay unos que no son, pero les puedes dar un poquito a ellos también en ser bilingües y ser, hablar con la misma constancia como hablas en inglés, como hablas en español. And then you bring back the crowds. Mucha gente en el norte de México, Reynosa, Matamoros, Vallehermoso, Río Bravo, whatever, Miguel Alemán,
China, Nuevo León.
China, Nuevo León, Perros Bravos, Nuevo León también.
Jesús.
But we reached out because they like Tejano, and nosotros hablamos en español. Así que I think that a lot had to do that Monterrey is such a big market for right now for Conjunto and for San Tejano, that porque en esos días sí les hablábamos más, yo creo, en español. Pero sí, la gran I get turned off because if we we're singing in Spanish and we can't even talk, a little bit of a turn off. And we have to mix it, si somos, we're bilingual, why not use our, being bilingual, and you can, reach out more people from both markets, for whatever market you want to get. So that's my take on it, Chris.
Wow. Now that's pretty interesting. Really quick, le quiero mandar saludos aquí para Robert Sánchez, que lo está viendo. También para Eddie Pérez, my very good friend Eddie Pérez.
El nalgón, Eddie.
No, es otro. El otro vato pues está medio weird.
Un saludo para Eddie Pérez aquí en el Valle.
No, I'm talking about the one from San Antonio.
Pues un saludo también para el de San Antonio.
Yeah, saludos para él, también saludos para, actually my phone went off right now, I can't check it's acting kind of weird.
Ahí va,
so,
ahí
va.
Ahí está.
Ahí va. Comments will appear here soon. Lalo, my phone is acting a little bit kind of funny, but there is somebody else here que I needed to send a saludo out to, pero my phone is acting weird. So, you know what? Going back to Marky here, tell me a little bit about Texas Pachanga.
Yeah, brother, absolutely. Well, Texas Pachanga, believe it or not, actually started mid to late 90s. We got together a bunch of kids straight out of high school. We started doing, back then the goal was just to play. We didn't care if it was 10 people, if it was 100 people. We wanted to play. So we started playing a lot of freebies, a lot of gigs within the cities. We did a lot of, we got a little bit more, well-known. We started doing a lot of quinceañeras, a lot of weddings, and got to the point where we were playing, quite a bit. Unfortunately, though, things happen and personalities get in the way, and we kind of went our separate ways, which is, it's sad because you think to yourself, well, where would we be today?
You got married, right?
Yeah, I did get married for a short period of time.
Okay, who was the lucky guy?
Well, his name is...
I'm kidding. I'm saying that because there's a girl here that says, marry me, Mark. I love you. Number one fan.
Oye.
Big shout out to Gris very, 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 very special person. She's going through a lot right now, and just want to tell her that we love her very much. And,
Absolutely.
And she needs a speedy recovery.
Yes, we're praying for you. Hope everything turns out for the best. And you know what? Once you recover, I promise you that I'm going to get Mark here to propose to you. And you know what? And my band is going to play not only for free, but we're going to charge you $5,000. So saludos y aplausos.
Y el otro CD gratis.
Sí. Bueno, el otro CD 10% discount.
Pues su madre.
Sí. Yo quiero ser padrino, Mark.
Ay, pues de cojín.
De cojín, a huevo. A huevo. Really quick. Le quiero mandar un saludo aquí para Christopher Barajas. Dice, saludos, brother. Saludos para mi buen amigo, Mr. Lalo Reina, el papá de Lalo Reina. Saludos para él, all the way in San Antonio, Texas. Wow, what can I say, man? We're blessed to have such a great audience here, man. Absolutely. You know what? I want to talk to Chu here for a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vamos a ver, Chu, no te agüites.
Órale, man.
Oh, yes.
Le mandamos saludos a toda la raza, a everybody that loves Tejano music. Órale, aquí estamos.
Es todo, Chuy. Oh, it's Chuy. Let me ask you something. They call you the Dark Knight, and why? Is it because of the glasses or porque estás prieto?
What is it today? What's the date?
Estamos el 2
The second, pero que
de junio.
Martes, lunes.
It's Wednesday, Thursday.
Estamos miércoles.
Okay, miércoles. Bueno, el miércoles they call me the Dark Knight.
Ajá.
Pero if it's on Friday, the other one. It all depends on the date. On the day of the week.
Depende de la fecha, ¿verdad?
Oh, yeah.
Es todo, mi amigo. Es como a mí, muchas de las pues no, I can't say it.
No, go for it, man.
No.
Tíralo.
I can't because I said I'm going to promise that I'm going to behave, and the show's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, right. No, this show is a little bit more informative, as you all are seeing, because we are talking about radio, and we are talking to now the Dark Knight himself, Mr.
Yes.
I heard that the reason they called you the Dark Knight was because you were a male dancer. You were like
Chippendale.
You were a Chippendale male dancer at one time.
Yes, but for myself.
But for yourself,
See,
okay.
I strip, pero no más solo.
Órale.
So I'm my favorite fan.
Okay. You're your favorite fan.
Oh, see, number one.
Wow. All right.
There you go, man.
Well, do you still dance?
Well, it all depends. The right amount of money.
All right.
And if it's the right song, vamos, let's do it.
A ver, prove it.
I can't hear the song.
I
don't see any bills.
I got plastic, brother. I got plastic, and it's good.
Pues órale.
Tengo chingo de plástico afuera, camarada, que tengo que ir a aventar.
Vamos, man. Yeah.
Mira, te manda a saludar Menchu Farías.
¿Quién?
Menchu Farías.
Salud para Mencho. ¿Qué ha habido, brother? Oh, my goodness gracious. We got a bunch of clowns here today. So, Chuy, where are you from, Chuy?
I'm from Farolito, Texas.
Ese far.
Yes, sir.
Eres oso.
De la Bell Street.
Actually, no, I'm not an oso. I'm a Raiders, man.
Raiders.
Está más joven.
No, actually, I went to both schools. I went to Bears, and then I transferred to Raiders.
Yeah, he graduated at 23 years old. So.
Actually, I graduated 94, but I was supposed to graduate 92, pero andaba de flonque.
Andabas de flonque.
Como dicen la pinta, andabas cachuqueando.
Big time.
Pues everybody would mistake you. Decían, ¿qué pasó, Mr.? Parecías el maestro con el bigotono.
Sí. Yeah.
Parecías que tenías Caterpillar aquí en el hocico, ¿no?
Yes, sir.
Es todo.
A mí se hace que esta otra malías, bro.
A mí se me hace que sí.
I try to be, man. I try.
He tries to be, but you know what? I'll tell you something. He's a badass bass player.
Thank you,
Awesome.
He's a badass player. So you know what? Right next to you, we have your nephew, right?
Yes, Mr. Chris.
Chris
Lopez.
Órale. I like your
Paul
name.
Lopez. There you go, man.
Salud, a ver, un aplauso.
Es todo.
Aplauso.
Both you guys. Here we go.
Pachanga de Texas. All right.
No te agüites, Paul.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
Hey.
He's like, what's up, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ándale, that's right. So, where are you from?
I am from Far, Texas as well.
Far, Texas. Eres Raider, ¿verdad?
Yes, sir.
Raider.
Well, yes, Raider. From there, actually, I got kicked out. So,
Bye,
my principal. So,
it wasn't your fault.
Kicked me out. Then I ended up going to Central, Bill Central, and and Flonke. Yeah.
Flonque. Tenemos dos flonques aquí.
Yes, two flunkies.
So what do
Okay.
you do with your flonque? Te metes un grupo pachanga de Texas.
Hey, that's what you do. If you're a flonque, these guys are accepting applications right now. They need a weedle player and they need a percussionist.
Ahorita vamos a hablar, ahorita platicamos.
Oh, es todo. Hey, you know what? I just made a connection here, folks. I got my friend Rudy Carr here to drum because he's also a drummer. So he used to drum for Arturo Montes, right?
You know what? I hit the bucket list with Arturo, and that was my one of my biggest highlights because he was one of my biggest influences in music. And back in the Discos 333, estamos
Órale.
hablando cuando tenía Pepe Maldoblado.
Ah,
Un saludo para Pepe
Salud
Maldoblado.
para Pepe.
Pepe allá en Edinburgh, McAllen, North McAllen, el de la Lomita Park. Un plug, oye.
I
Que se
know,
moche.
right?
Anyway, ahí grababa Arturo Montes, and one of his first recordings that I listened to on the radio back in the day again, que era 96.1, cuando era la superior, tocaba la de Ya no quiero ser tu amante. That was my favorite. That's my favorite all-time song de Arturo Montes. Ya no quiero ser tu amante.
Man, you know what? I had the song de Arturo, man, that I just absolutely loved, man. And let me see if I have it here. I'm going to put it for y'all so y'all can check it out. Está con
Que
madre.
descanse en paz el padrino. Era padrino mío también. He played at my wedding back in 1990. Y como que ya me cobró el vato 1,000 bolas.
No, hombre, te cobró.
Se cobró. Dijo, pues, y eso que es yo soy tu ahijado y me cobraste como quieras. Pero nada, business is business, que estamos hablando de eso.
Oh, yeah. Business is business. You know, we were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Let me see if it'll play off of...
A ver.
No se hace pause, mira. Wow.
Nomás.
Pues bájale al gain, ¿no?
That album lo grabaron ahí con Chuy.
That one right there?
No soy nada, yeah. That one right there. Hoy nomás.
Si te apartas de mi lado
Wow.
y quedo sin tu cariño,
Los chords.
soy nada.
Hey, who was the keyboard player right there?
El ciego.
Jerry.
Tus ojos no me
Wow.
miran,
I had a feeling it was him.
labios no me
Yeah.
besan,
Drums, pues ya sabes.
no soy
JB.
nada.
Bass. We're talking about useless information. Here we go.
Y tu cuerpo no me
Probably Flores.
No. Oh,
no soy
Lupe.
nada.
El morenito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Porque yo
¿Y la guitarra?
sin tu cariño,
Lupe Flores.
sin el amor que
No.
me dabas,
Era Danny.
no
Danny
soy
García, que estaba.
Oh, yeah, with Fandango,
no
right?
soy nada.
Wow. Yeah, so this song was freaking awesome.
Jerry, right? What was his last name? I mean, everybody knows him por el ciego, but what was his last name?
¿Quién, el guitar player?
No, keyboard player, Jerry
Jerry Sanchez.
Sánchez.
Yeah, Jerry Sanchez.
Saludo para
You know
Jerry.
Jerry, right? No, he doesn't know.
He went on to produce a lot of stuff for Paulino in his studio.
Uh-huh.
Jerry Sánchez. Saludo.
Oh, yeah, salud para Jerry. That guy he's a phenomenal keyboard player, man. That guy's right up there with Joe Reveles and all them guys, man.
Yeah. Hay mucho talento en el Valle. I mean, no es por nada. San Antonio tiene lo suyo, pero I think el Valle no le pide nada a nadie. As
Oh,
far as
no.
músicos de calidad, we have them.
Absolutely, and we no matter what you say, we kind of have our own style that we mix in. You can kind of tell when a band is coming out of the valley. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying we're better. I'm not saying we're worse, but we are better. But no, I'm just saying that the valley has a very unique style.
Yeah, and you can tell Houston style, San
Absolutely.
Anto,
Absolutely.
and especially back in the day, I remember even in the Valley, cuando estaba the clubs on 10th Street, cuando estaba Bocacios,
Bocacios,
el Papillon,
el Papillon, yeah.
todos esos. I mean, tenía esa ternura aquí en el Bocacios, tenías en el
Pío.
Papillon a Pío, y en el otro, I don't know where, en el
South Dallas.
10th Avenue, donde iba Chris.
Ay,
Estaba,
güey.
ahí estaba con madre, nunca salías de ahí. ¿Te
No.
gustaba?
I used to love it there.
Yeah,
That's where I met my first husband.
era Beto.
See?
What was his name? Elver? Last name was Galargano?
No. That was my second one.
That was the second one. My bad.
You know why you guys why are you ganging up on me first of all?
No, pues usted empezó, canijo.
Chinga, you know what? I'm never gonna invite you guys back. And to think, man, I was talking so highly about you guys, pero ahora sí.
No, era Micho, se llamaba Micho.
You know what? The gloves are coming off. This is no longer a PG show. It's gone back to an uncensored show. ¿Dónde está el bastardo para que me tire esquina con estos vatos?
But yeah, you remember, right? And as soon as somebody hit a note back then, you knew it was them.
Oh,
You knew,
absolutely.
mira, Mayo.
Absolutely.
Hoy, Emilio Guerrero Charro, man. And
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
puro Chorro band.
Yeah, it was
Monse
it was so unique that everybody, as soon as that, te decían quién era. Mira, Magic, esa es ternura, Romance,
Romance,
wow.
absolutely.
Back in the day, you were right. There were 3-4 different bands on 10th Street,
Oh, yeah.
and all the places were like that, full.
Every
Hasta la
single
madre.
one.
Yeah,
Every
I remember
single
that.
one.
The gold, that was back in the early 80s, bro. Wow. Que salió el diablo ahí en Bocasio, ¿te
Oh,
acuerdas?
that's right.
Big
Story,
It
story.
came out in the news,
Yeah,
man. Remember
que
that?
Salió el diablo, ya nadie quería ir al Bocasio 2000.
That was it made the news. It actually made the world news, man.
It did?
Yeah, it sure did, man.
Que salió el diablo en
Que salió el diablo en
Bocasios.
Bocasios. Man, I remember being a punk little kid going in there, man.
Really?
Y, hombre, yo tenía un pinche bigotón de Wyatt Earp y no me decía nada.
Same thing with me. Entraba, ya tenía como unos 14, 15. I started going into clubs because I was already like 5'9", 5'10" already.
Sí.
Ya entraba a los clubs, ya andaba con las darlings yo ahí. I saw my mom there once. I said, "What are you doing here, mom?"
Jefa, no dinner.
You know what? I need my cuz here porque next time I have you clowns here, at least I need my cousin here para que me proteja. Necesito al Jimmy Cano dice, chingao, mi Rudy, cómprale corn chips, ponle swimming pools.
Acá rato. No puedo decir nada porque luego sale. Ponle casa. Pongo una foto y no how they are. Pinche palomilla.
Sí.
I took a picture last time with Dicky and
el bass player.
bass player de David Lee Garza and Adam, son camaradas, y tomé una foto y dije, okay, who's the first one to say? Ahí está Jimmy Cano.
Jimmy Cano.
Yeah. Mira, ponle casa y que ponle con jacuzzi, cómprale un cono en Dairy Queen. Ya me la sé todas.
Esa es mía. He's stealing my lines porque I would have said, ¿sabes qué? Que compren unos pinches nuggets de McDonald's, ¿no?
Un number one.
Hey,
Del Whataburger.
y el cono del Dairy Queen. That's what, hey, Jimmy, you can't be stealing my lines, though. They're copywritten already, dude.
It's on trademark, yeah.
Yeah, they're trademarked already, dude. Sí, saludos para Elisa Jaimes. DJ Peaches all the way in Arizona. He said, Chris Travieso. No, these guys are picking on me. Peaches. You know, if I had Peaches here with me, no, but you guys irá de volada para abajo.
Number.
Se deja caer la greña.
Órale.
Hey, brother, you mind if I send a couple of quick shout-outs real quick?
A huevo.
Yeah, I just want to send a couple of quick shout-outs. First of all, to Cynthia Gutierrez, love you, hun, out there in San Antonio. Also want to send a shout-out to Christina and Crystal over there in FAR. Also, one of our OFO brothers, Luis Huicho, is over in Browntown, Brownsville.
Órale.
Yes, sir.
Puro Browntown.
We're on the border by the sea, papa.
Ah, sí, güeyito. Pues yo soy de Browntown.
Bueno, más.
¿verdad?
But ya trabajo ya, pa. I'm one of the... Ya me dice que soy de South Most, o de San Juan.
O de Cameron Park.
Ándale.
Saludos para los de Cameron Park. Nomás llévate un filero porque está canijo ahí. güey.
Está cañón.
Sácale el filero.
Es como Little México aquí en Álamo. Vas para sur.
No, pero allá está especial, pa.
Pues sí.
Ya.
Es que es otro guato.
Aquí dice saludos para Ivan and Linda Gutierrez all the way in Dallas, Texas. Seguro que sí. Para Norma Salazar. Yes, it's so true. Oh, my goodness graciousness. We are having such an awesome time. Rolando Garcia, saludos. What did I miss? Where's Marisela? She's no longer here. Jimmy Cano. I say,
Ya salió.
hey, LOL, dice Peaches. Peaches, I need you here. These guys are ganging up on me. It's not fair. It's not fair.
¿Dónde está la Peaches?
La Peaches está in Arizona.
Órale.
She's an honor personality over there as well.
¿At the Hano Radio?
Yes.
Wow.
She's on online, and also she does. Peaches, are you still working at that FM station?
Yes.
Thank you, Peaches.
Ya, dijo que sí.
So, all of a sudden, like, Peaches, are you still working at the FM station? Yes.
Hijo de su...
Pues su pinche madre.
Oh. Un saludo para Peaches.
Dice Jimmy Cano, Rudy Carr me dejó bien plantado en San Antonio.
No.
Caído.
No, caído.
Ahorita vamos a sacar toda la sopa.
Marky, dile algo.
Le dije, vamos para... pues andamos allá en el Victoria Memorial Bash.
Ajá.
Y Jimmy dijo que iba a ir a ver a David Lee el viernes, pero no le dejó la Wi-Fi. So no le dejó y se quedó en la casa hasta llor y llor. Eso por eso le dije, yo tenía 2 cheques para ti, gratis, VIPs. No
Caído.
fuiste y ya.
Caído.
No, caído el chavo.
Imagine if I ask him to come over here. Va a tener que preguntar for permission.
Sí, así es.
Así es, ¿verdad?
Dice que él tiene la última palabra en su casa. Sí,
I don't think, no.
Sí, vieja.
You think so?
That's
Sí,
a lot,
vieja.
papá.
You think so?
Y él dice...
True story, man. One time we were coming back from the road. Y I think we got here kind of late. Y estaba la esposa de Jimmy esperándolo en la puerta. Le dije, Jimmy, te van a pegar con el sartén, brother. For y'all that don't know, Jimmy Cano is my cousin. So he's an awesome bass player. He's played with several bands.
He's also a Leo, right?
El hombre es cáncer el vato.
No, I think he works with... He's a police officer.
No, es Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Sí.
Dije, you're a Leo? No,
No, es
I'm a
Sagittarius.
Libra.
No, es Sagittarius el vato.
Órale. Saludo para Jimmy Cano.
Sí. Oye, ya le damos chingo de publicity a Jimmy, ¿no?
Yeah.
Va a tener que comprar
Ya corta-
comercial.
Ya córtale entonces.
Va a tener que comprar radio spots aquí.
Yeah.
Dice, next week nomás miras live. ¿No? Oh, next week los miras live, dice.
Está bueno, Jimmy.
Wow, you all have a good chemistry, dice Rolando Garcia. Thank you so much, my brother. The Victoria Memorial Day Bash was amazing. Hi, Jimmy. Hey, Peaches, leave Jimmy out of this. Jimmy ya tiene que comprar comercial aquí.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. I mean, you know, it was good. That I never been to it was my first year, pero está bien.
You know, talking about that, if I can just bring something up real quick. I know he's may not be happy with me bringing it up, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just want to congratulate my brother Chris here. I know that he just received an award there for Song of the Year for Tambalele, the 281ers. Congratulations to my brother. Very well deserved.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, man.
No, yes, sir. Very well deserved.
I was actually at home. I was relaxing there with my sister. I come down from Houston, and my brother was there. We had gone together. You know, it's very rare that my sister comes down, and all of a sudden somebody calls me and says, "Hey, you won." And I go, "What the hell did I win?" And she goes, "You won for Song of the Year." I'm like, "Shut up." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, go accept my award on my behalf, on our behalf." So she went, and it was pretty cool. So I went to go pick it up yesterday, and it was really cool. It's such an honor. The thing with those award shows is that you're not going to make a lot of money off of an award. But you know what? Getting an award, receiving an award like that is an acknowledgement. It's an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
That's acknowledging your contributions to what you've done in Tejano music.
Absolutely.
It's not going to make me rich. So all of you out there that are hating and talking a bunch of crap or whatever, you know what? Having an award is an accomplishment. And whether it's a small award show, a big award show, whatever you want to look at it, but you know what? If you're nominated, look at it as an accomplishment and an acknowledgement for your contributions to Tejano music or whatever genre of music that you're recording in or whatever. That's the way I see it. I don't see it as a competition. I don't see it as anything else, but rather somebody's acknowledging what I've done. My contributions to Tejano music and radio and stuff. So that's the way I see it. I don't look at it as a competition. So to the little hater or to the people out there that are, saying it was a sham or whatever. No. I just look at it, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have won it. And I want to thank Jesse Torres from the All-Star Awards and all the people who voted. Thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. And once again, in this business, I think that's the way that everybody sees it, Rudy.
Yeah.
I think everybody sees it as a competition more than anything else. For example, if you played in my band as a drummer, right, and you leave, there's no reason for you to be my enemy.
Why?
There isn't, right?
No, we're friends, first of all.
We're friends, absolutely. And you know what? And nowadays, when it comes to Tejano music, there's no such thing as an amicable breakup. They leave your band, and all of a sudden, pinche Chris no vale madre. No, pinche Chris, don't trust him. Be careful with that dude. And it shouldn't be that way. If you leave a band, leave in good terms. Don't be out spreading rumors or telling people, because it only makes you look bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It only makes you look bad. So it's best if you're with a band, a professional band, regardless if you want to call them big, small, medium, whatever the hell. If you're with a band and you leave, for whatever reasons, you have we don't see eye to eye, leave amicably. And you know what? People will respect you more for that.
Say hombre.
Yeah, rather than to be out spreading rumors, bashing the band that you were with before, because remember, they gave you a start. Okay? So to anybody out there that's wondering, or wants to know, my point of view when it comes to receiving an award, I just look at it as an acknowledgement and an accomplishment more than anything else. I know it's not going to make me rich. I know it's not going to bring me millions of dollars, but I just see it like something that, you're being acknowledged for the hard work that you've been putting in, whether it's in the studio recording, whether it's you're busting your ass out on radio tours, getting your music on radio, because, that's really what it takes, because if you're not on radio, then you're not going to be winning shit, right?
Yeah.
So, sharing your music with friends, with DJs and all that, it's a lot of work getting your music out there. It's a process. And you know what? I don't think that we should get bashed for it. I think more than anything, people should just, congratulate and move on.
I think a lot of it comes with maturity also, Chris, because there's some musicians out there who it's all about them and not really about the group or about the music in general. I'm going to use myself as an example. You and I played on and off together back then for 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. But it was like, I wouldn't see you, and then I'd see you again 6 months later, and we'd play, 4 or 5 months straight, and then I wouldn't see you again. It's like we always picked up right where we left off. And this particular recording, unfortunately, it's been a few years since I'd seen you. And it's just like the second we saw each other, it's just like, again, you pick up right where we left off.
Absolutely.
Cagando el palo otra vez.
Absolutely.
That's the way it is. But then again, you're talking about people who actually are well, and I'm not saying that I'm the best or anything, but who are professional and know how to actually treat people, how to respect and how to recognize, a true fellow musician. Let's put it that way.
Etiquette.
Etiquette, yeah,
Etiquette.
yeah, there you go.
Etiquette.
There you go, absolutely.
How to have etiquette on and off stage.
Absolutely.
It's work, People dicen, oye, no me pues estar en una banda, está toda fácil. No, hombre, no sabes, chamaco. You got personalities, you got egos, you don't respect the band leader, the guy who's really, selling Chris.
Absolutely.
Tocas con alguien, hey, se chingó una bocina, ¿quién la va a pagar?
Yep.
El band leader, pues es el band leader.
Sí.
Oye, la gasolina y el travel
La
y esto.
llanta,
El
o
aseguro de la band.
Se jode el keyboard and quién es, whatever.
Absolutely.
And there has to be etiquette. And unfortunately,
and
not
that's
everybody.
not even touching the business
No,
side
no,
of
no,
things.
no, no. That's a whole
just-
other.
yeah,
That's a whole.
exactly.
It's a whole other thing. But yeah, we were talking about all that stuff, and I know what you're saying because I've lived it a little bit, on the music side with some bands, growing up and stuff. But etiquette, some people just se les olvida.
Sometimes people will, and I use this word, I can't think of a better adjective, but will leech on to certain people to try and bring themselves forward, and then it's like, oh, I don't need you anymore, and then they kind of get rid of you, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, maybe I can get some more out of him or whatever. And you know what? In a way, I don't think that's necessarily horrible, but it's like you have to recognize and you have to give proper respect to those certain people. Like, I'll give you an example. Back in the 90s, we had Texas Pachanga. We were playing like crazy. The band went its separate way. Chewy and I stayed jamming together no matter what. But, it was just, well, back then I played drums. So it was drums and guitar or whatever. And then it's like, I met up with Chris a couple years afterwards, and we met up with, I'm not going to mention who, but another artist. And she was EMI. What she with Chris?
Yeah, with EMI.
With EMI, right. And, I met up with Chris. We started playing. It was awesome. And then from there, for me, it was like, okay, well, this is big time. We got several sponsors in. We started playing quite a bit. And then, on top of that, Chris was already pretty much a well-known actor, musician back then. So it's like, hey, well, I'm going to go fill in with so-and-so or so-and-so. And we'd show up, and it's just like, hey, well, they need a drummer too. So, I mean, I can tell you that from a personal standpoint, I got a serious amount of exposure, of experience as a drummer back then, playing, just randomly having to show up with different bands and like, oh, well, here's a set list, and you're looking at the set list 5 minutes before you go on stage, and it's like, well, let's go. And that's what separates, in my opinion, professional, somebody who's wanting to step out and take a chance, than somebody who's like, oh, no, I'm not doing it. To hell with that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you know what? The show must go on. It's like one of the things that I learned early on. It's like whether there's 2 people, 20 people, 2,000 people, 20,000, it doesn't matter. You know what? You play, you give it 100% no matter what. And that's what we've always done. We just did a little side of, we've always played serenades.
Right.
Serenades since high school. I mean, we've done it forever, 20, 30 years, whatever it's been. And again, whether it's just we're playing for one lady at a window, whether the whole family's there, whether they have a big party, it's like you give it 100%, you give it your all, and it's it doesn't matter the gig. It's like you're still putting yourself out there and your love for the music out there. Yeah. And it's for me, music's always been just a really personal thing,
right?
And it's something that unless you do it, it's very hard to explain.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody brought up an interesting point here. They say, what is missing in the Tejano industry for it to catapult again? That's a very good question. Saludos para Rolando García. Saludos para Christopher Barajas. Dice, congratulations, bro, on your award. Well deserved. Thank you so much. Para Minora Castillo. Hello, Teresa Tijerina. Dice, Rolando García, do you think that some established Tejano artists drowned and kept new talent out of the spotlight? Well, we're going to get to that right now. Vic Martinez, hi from Phoenix, Arizona. Seguro que sí. Okay, so going back to Rolando Garcia's question, let's take, for example, last weekend, right? Last Friday, were the, 3rd annual All-Star Awards, right? In San Antonio, Texas. They had a pre-party, a pre-kickoff, dance to the awards at Desperados in San Antonio, Desperados 2.0. Saludos para J.R. Redon, saludos para él. And, going back to what you were talking about, established artists, there are some established artists that really just fuck it up for everybody else. Excuse my language, but, they mess it up for everybody else. There was a certain gentleman there. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to give this idiot credit, right? But it's people like that ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why the Tejano music industry struggles, because of people like that. Had he si se fuera portado bien, if he was just humble to begin with, in this business, you can't be arrogant. No matter what you do, you cannot be arrogant. And that's one thing that that kills this industry is there's a lot of people, there's a lot of artists, a lot of especially singers that are super, super arrogant. You cannot be arrogant. You need to leave arrogant at home. You need to leave it somewhere else because, people are going to find out. Sooner or later, people are going to find out what you're made of. Karma, exactly. And unfortunately with this guy, he acted a fool and got kicked out. Wow. He acted a fool and got kicked out. And, and it hurt. It hurts the industry because, he is he was, an A-list artist. He was already getting there. He was already getting to that status. And, people like that should be setting examples. And the example that he set for a lot of people is no mas no. It's not what Tejano music is made of. It's not what the Tejano community wants to see out of an artist, especially an artist that is representing a major label like the one that he's with. I just I ask and I pray, man, that the guy changes his ways because I personally don't care for the guy, but I'm still gonna say this. I pray that the guy changes his ways and realizes after what he did last Friday. I just hope he just changes his ways. Leave your arrogance at home. Leave it, just lose it altogether. Rather, don't leave it at home. Just lose it altogether, man. And you know what? To this guy, I do hope that you watch this show because you know what? Because if nobody has ever told you, I'm telling you now, lose your freaking arrogance, bro. And I'm glad that I'm so glad that they called you out on it. And I'm so glad that people are now realizing what kind of a person you are. You're going to have, I'm looking at you straight in the eye right now. And I hope that you do some major, major, major damage control, bro, because you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm thinking that it's probably already too late, but you're going to have to do, and your record label's going to have to do a lot of damage control because what you did was despicable. It was horrible, horrendous. And you know what? I wish that no other artist behaves the way you did.
Yeah.
That's just me right there. That's my opinion. And a lot of people might know who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to give the guy any more fame. But you know what? I pray that you do change your attitude. I pray that you change for the better. And you know what? If you have some enemies out there, and you know who I'm talking about, if you have some enemies out there, apologize to them. Be their friends. I'm sure that they will accept your apology because, not everybody in this world is like you. Like me, for example, I don't hold a grudge.
Yeah.
I don't know how to hold a grudge. I may be mad at you one day, but the following day I'm over it, man. So best thing for me to tell you, man, is you know what? Lose your attitude, apologize to all those people that really hurt you, and maybe, you'll get your career back on track.
Oye, Chris, como dijo, el other question that I kind of like from Rolando is what is missing in the Tejano industry into catapulting again like back in the 90s?
Uh-huh.
What do you think? That's a great question.
Say it again, Rudy.
He says, what is the missing in the Tejano music industry to catapult again?
What is missing in the Tejano music industry, and I think a lot of artists that are really down to earth, that are humble, will tell you that the commodity, there's no more, people are just so jealous of each other, and I don't know why. It's like, for example, I win an award, right? I didn't ask to win the award. It was given to me because people voted, right? The guy, chose the people that he wanted people to vote for, and I won. All of a sudden, I'm being hated for it, I think that the jealousy is one thing. There's too much jealousy in this industry. There's too much greed. There's too much backstabbing. I think that if people work together, it's just like the norteño industry, the Mexican regional industry, like everybody works together. That's why it's so successful. You have, and I congratulate bands like Lucky Joe, seeing all those guys, going from one genre to the other because, they know what's up. Those guys, they're playing it very smart, and it's just, this industry that we're in right now, it's very cutthroat, very, very cutthroat. And I think that if people would just learn to be humble and learn to respect each other and learn to help each other out, I think when that happens, I think that's when this business will turn around.
See, Chris, but one thing I don't understand is, there's plenty of fans, plenty of fame for to go around for everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
So why does it have to be me against you, against him. You know, who's best, who's going to close the show,
Oh, yeah.
who's whatever, you know. Why can't it be for the sake of the music, for the sake of the event, for the sake of, you know what, bring Tejano back to where it was, 20 years ago. Bring Tejano back to where it was in its heyday. I mean, right now, don't get me wrong, there's several bands out there that stick to their guns, that are still making it today, that are still fighting to keep their music going, and I respect, all of them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what? Back in the 90s, it was like, bro, there was so many freaking bands out there, and you would turn the radio on, and it was like you put it on KWW, and you're jamming along, and then just for giggles, you put it on 99.5,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my God, La Sombra's playing, and you put it over here, oh, La Fiebre is playing, you put it over here, and it's like, oh, it's Bobby Pulido, and then it's Grupo Más, and it was like, there were so many bands out there, and it was awesome, but today, there's just, it's not the same way anymore.
And also, I can remember, and I was witness to some of these when we used to host events for the different radio stations that I work for. Siempre el problema era, no, mi equipo aquí y el tuyo allá.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hated that crowd, having a split. Go to, like, for instance, the Villarreal. Ibas a la Villarreal y ahí estaba el I'm sorry.
No, you can say it.
El pinche tiempo perdido porque el pinche artist acá, no. Yo voy primero, and this is you're not going to use my stuff. And if you look at like Chris was saying, los grupos norteños de México, compadre, no tenemos, hombre, pues agárralo de nosotros, esta batambora,
Exactly.
y súbete nomás, pues, agarra tu instrumento,
Absolutely.
and let's put our stuff together, let's put our lights together, and we'll have one hell of a show.
Yes.
Ah, no, aquel, and then if they use your equipment,
Te daban una luz.
te daban una luz y el
No
sound
mames.
engineer se iba para el baño allá porque traía chorro.
Hey.
Así que nunca se oía bien gacho. ¿Ves? Ese es el mendigo problema que yo siempre he visto en esto.
Con los tejanos.
Exactamente. But you see the rap artists, the country guys, for me, a great example of cómo se ayudan. Oye, si está jodido, pues avíntale una canción con el otro y ahí se van. And you guys will make it. Nosotros no. Ah, no, ese vato me dé feria y que el otro. Y ahí está el piquete, en la raza.
Hey.
Sale el piquete luego. Y nunca hacemos nada y estamos estancados aquí. Cuando podemos irnos para arriba un poquito más.
I don't know if y'all remember. I believe the year was 98 or 99. Chewy and I went. I could be wrong here, but I believe it was Que Pasa who had the event. It was called Island Jam, if I'm not mistaken.
At Charlie's?
At Charlie's,
Yeah.
yes. And it was supposed to be such an awesome event. They had so many bands from like noon all the way to like, I don't know, midnight or 2 in the morning, whatever it was. But every single band was like a hard-hitting band, like a serious, awesome band. And I remember we got there super early because we didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
And they had 2 stages. And initially it was like, okay, one band plays here, and then the next band plays, and while this band's playing, they change out the equipment. And, it was pretty well orchestrated for the majority of the day. Towards the end of the night, the last 2 bands, which I'm not going to say who they are because I don't need any enemies. I don't want enemies. But the last 2 bands, start playing, and I think they got their times off or whatever the case was. So it was like this band wasn't done playing, and they had just started. But then the last headliner starts playing. So then it's just like the fans are like, do we stay here? Do we stay there? And this PA gets cranked. And then we go to the other artist, and their engineer cranks their PA even more. And then the first artist is like, oh, well, you're not going to be louder than me. So then they crank their PA even more. And next thing you know, you have 2 full PAs going at todo vuelo.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it sounded so freaking horrible because you had this band playing over here. You had this band playing over here at the exact same time. Stages are not that far apart from each other. And as a fan at the time, I remember Chewy was with me, and we had a bunch of other friends who were there, and it was just like, it's horrible. We left because it was like you couldn't enjoy it because there was too much bleed over from the 2 PAs,
right?
And it was just a matter of egos. Ah, no, pues I'm the headliner. Oh no, well I'm the headliner, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was horrible. What was supposed to be such a freaking awesome event.
Lo mandaron por un tubo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing that Rolando García, un saludo para él que nos está escuchando, Chris. Dice, I've seen the split setup. That was fun, stupid. I saw that at the Villarreal a couple of times. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I saw it there.
I saw it too.
And it sucked. Y como dice Jesse Villegas, saludo. Mark, get it, brother. Dice, that's awesome. Yeah, we remember that. And I think,
absolutely.
Que feo, right? Because, if you are, especially like the bands who are opening up for the bigger band, whatever, hey, come on. Okay, don't do the 100% of the lights, but like Chris said, don't just leave him one light.
I'm going to give him something.
And give him the engineer so it could sound, what are you afraid of? You're you're the headliner. What are you afraid of? You know, but that's la raza no sé por qué, pero nosotros siempre nos echamos la soga al cuello. I mean, unfortunately, that's the bad part about this, So.
I remember seeing a show, and again with Chewy again. We went to.
Oye, ustedes se juntaban chingos, ¿no? Iban a pistear.
My boyfriend.
Eran los maimos de aquí del valle.
Oh, it's starting to sound rather suspicious here. I'm starting to wonder about you guys now.
Don't be jelly, Chris.
Dude, I'm jealous, man.
Se conocen de atrás tiempos.
Okay. I get it now. De atrás tiempos, okay?
No, but we went to go see La Mafia.
Right.
In where was it? Alto Bonito.
El Hill Country.
Yes, sir.
El Golden Hill.
El Golden Hill Country. Bueno,
Golden Hill Ballroom.
Antes de que lo bostearan. No.
Yeah.
Eso fue después.
But check it out. I remember we walked in, and if you remember, that salon was long.
Yeah.
So and the stage is like right in the middle.
Okay, let me just stop you there
Yeah,
right quick. Why did you turn to Chewy and say long like that?
Oh, it's
Okay.
habit.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right.
Están impuestos.
Están impuestos.
No, but I just remember walking in and seeing the PA, and there was like a stupid amount of speakers, a stupid amount of subs on each side, like ridiculous. And I remember thinking to myself, I didn't bring any earplugs. This is gonna hurt, like my hearing. So the opening acts go on, and there was 3 or 4 who went on there, and I just remember hearing the opening acts, and I was like, oh my god, it sounds phenomenal. I mean, La Mafia. I mean, it's La Mafia, bro. They're
right.
La Mafia. They had top of the line PA and lights and whatever. And this is, I don't know, again, late 90s. But I just remember the opening acts were there, and they just sounded phenomenal. If I'm not mistaken, didn't David O play there? And
David Olivares.
I think Límite played también.
Ahí está, por eso fueron.
Por eso está todo moist, Rudy.
No, I think Límite played too, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, they sounded freaking amazing. And then when La Mafia comes on, you were thinking that La Mafia was going to crank it, even more? Nah, bro. Like, it was just
even
the same sound from beginning to end. Because, I mean, think about it. La Mafia, what do they have to prove to anybody? They don't have to prove that they're better than anybody.
Hell no.
They've been in the game forever.
Yeah.
They could come out and sing La Cucaracha, and it would be a freaking hit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They could do La Cucaracha in Wapango, it'd be a hit. And
Era el armadillo.
Write that down.
El armadillo. Así es.
Wapango.
Well, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Great stories from everybody that's here on the panel today here at Powerhouse Studios. That's right. This is where we're hosting the Chrispity Chris Show. You know what? Our time has unfortunately come to an end. I can actually sit here all damn night and talk about this, and I'm sure Rudy can too, and I'm sure Marky can too, Chewy and Pon and everybody. But you know what? The show has to come to an end right now because we have to get to work in the studio now. Yeah. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Dave's Music, out of Kingsville, Texas. I would say if anybody is looking for any kind of instrument, drums, PA systems, saxophones, trumpets, guitars, basses, whatever, go look for David Science in Kingsville, Texas. Dave's Music. They're always ready and willing to work with you. And they've got, they've got some of the best prices around. So Dave's Music in Kingsville, one of the sponsors of the Chrispity Chris Show. Los pedimos, amigos. I want to thank my good friend, Mr. Rudy Carr, C-A-R-R. Thank you so much, my friend, for being here on the Chrispity Chris Show. También para Mark Alanis and Texas Pachanga in the house. Saludos para ellos. Un aplauso que se oiga.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we're going to have a surprise guest next week. So, I want you all to tune in next week. And thank you so much. Hasta la próxima, amigos. We will see you later.
Vámonos.
Bye. So, ahora sí, súbele la música, ¿verdad? Una polquita. Uy. Para que comiencen a zapatear.